First and foremost, how good does it feel just to be back in Pittsburgh and in front of this crowd?
It's nice to be home. It's good to get in front of our fans. So felt like we were in Florida for a long time.
How excited are you for a guy like Mitch to start the home opener today and on his birthday?
Yeah, I just found out it was his birthday. But I mean, he started, opening days, whether it's been home or road before. I think they've been on the road. But yeah, it's nice. It's important for us to have someone like that on a day like this.
What are the challenges that Max Fried can give a lineup?
He's really good. I mean, obviously, the ability to execute the fastball to both sides. He can put the ball on the ground, big curveball. I mean, just good repertoire. I mean, he's a challenge just because he's really talented.
Does it help at all that you guys saw in the spring?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you see a pitcher of that caliber, but spring training's way different because in spring training, it could be a situation regardless of the innings or what he's doing or if he's working on something or, especially a pitcher of his caliber, he could go out that day and say, hey, I'm just going to throw my two-seamer. I'm going to throw 15 breaking balls. So a little bit having seen him, but it's really not a good indication because spring training you're working on things.
So what were the conversations like for Kutch to go back out in the field and play right?
Yeah, well, I think the conversations have happened over the last couple days because he didn't play in spring training. He didn't play in the outfield. He did get out there and do some stuff to keep moving around. And then we, realized with Brian situation of right now just hitting, Kutch started to get back out in the outfield, throwing program started back up. And then yesterday just had a conversation with him of like, hey man, do you feel comfortable? How comfortable do you feel with where you're at? I mean, number one, it's really important for me that he feels like he's in a good spot and his body's in a good spot. And I give him a ton of credit with how he took care of his body this winter. I think we have to be mindful that he's 38, but it was a conversation that included him of like, hey, do you feel comfortable being out there? Because don't want to put him in any situation where he's not like that. And he was full go. And I give him a ton of props because if you were in Tampa, he was out every day shagging, he was working on it. So I think we had an indication that this may be a little bit of a possibility.
You said Reynolds started a throwing program again?
No, Reynolds has not started a throwing program again.
I guess I misheard that. What's the expectation for him? What are you guys looking to see? What do you guys need to see from him before he can play the field again?
Well, we got him reevaluated yesterday, and it's a teres major strain. Do not quote me on my medical ability. As you people that follow the Pirates know, it's not great. So I think we're going to have to reevaluate that. But right now, it's very limited throwing, if any throwing at all.
Is first base in the cards for him at all?
No, because at first you would still have to throw the ball.
Derek, any initial impressions of Alexander Canario? I hope I'm saying that, Canario, and just how he could potentially help you guys?
Initial reaction, I mean, because I just met him yesterday for the first time, is he's a big kid, and from what I've heard, he hits the ball really hard. So I think we'll get a look at him over the next, however long, once he gets in a game. But from the people that I've talked to of other places he's been, they said when he impacts the ball, it's pretty impressive. So I think it's a guy that, we targeted and looked at for a while, and his availability came up, and we were able to acquire him. So I think we'll learn more as we see him.
Shelton, you see a big star like Aaron Judge handle himself both on the field and off the field the way he has for years now with the Yankees, and you see how Paul is doing that the first couple of years here in Pittsburgh. Are you impressed with the way that Paul sort of comported himself in a similar fashion with all the attention nationally that's focused on him all the time?
Yeah, I think Paul handles himself extremely well. I mean, he's had a ton of attention since even prior to him being drafted, with being at LSU and playing for a national championship and winning a national championship, and then being 1-1 and then doing something last year that was historic. I mean, he started the All-Star game, I think, less than a year from being drafted, was the Rookie of the Year. And I think one of Paul's greatest strengths is how he handles himself and how he compartmentalizes things. And I don't know Aaron Judge other than to speak to him and say hello, but everybody that I've ever talked to him about him, and I have very many close friends in New York on their staff, he compartmentalizes it. And the thing that I've heard about Judge is that the game is the most important thing for him and how he prepares. And I think that's the same thing in terms of Paul Skeens. Regardless of what's going on, him pitching every 5th day, 6th day, whatever it is the most important thing for him, and he prepares that way. So I think that comparison, again, from the little bit I know about Aaron, is that would be where the comparison is.
Shelton, when you return to PNC Park, there's images and signage of 21 and Clemente everywhere. What's it like to have Kutch closing in on Clemente in terms of home runs
Yeah,
as a Pirate?
I think it's really cool. I mean, and it was brought up to me that Kutch is 38, and Joe Block brought it up to me today. The last two outfielders to play right field at that age were Bill Robinson and Clemente. So I think everyone knows what Kutch means to this organization and what Clemente means to this organization. But anytime we're representing 21, I think we're in a good spot.
Shelton, as Brian works through this, is first base an option for Kutch?
No. Well, for Kutch? No, sorry. I went to your question. No, Kutch, I know Kutch went out and took ground balls at first the other day. We're trying to keep Kutch get moving around as much as possible, and I think he got a little bit bored and went out and took him, and then he realized after taking him he'd rather just take throws at first. But he's just trying to stay moving as much as possible. But no, it's not an option.
In that same realm, though, when you were talking about Clemente, Kutch, just having his adaptability to be in the lineup today for the home opener and just be in front of these fans with being such a staple for this organization, how important was that?
Very important, and it was something that was very important. I know it personally was very important to me. But the first and foremost is Kutch had to be in a good spot to do this. But, Kutch is a person that means a lot to this organization, a lot to this city. So him being out there today was extremely important to me. The most important thing was Kutch was in a good spot with it. But yeah, it was front of mind yesterday for me most of the day.
With Brian being down, is this something that we could see consistently, or is it kind of just see how it goes and see what spot Kutch is in?
Yeah, I don't know what the definition of consistently is, but I don't think it's going to be a ton, but we may see it more, just because it's got to give us an option. I mean, we're still looking to generate offense, and Kutch has given us good at-bats, not only this year, but in the past year. So trying to get his bat in the lineup is important. Keeping Brian's bat in the lineup, obviously, is extremely important. The other thing we have to think about is Kutch is 38 and hasn't played the outfield consistently for almost 3.5 years. So we have to be thoughtful of his legs because we need him at the plate also. How we work through this will be consistent communication and conversation, but I would say consistent would probably not be at the forefront right now, just because of making sure that his legs stay fresh.
Shelton, you've already been through opening day and 7 games. What's your favorite part about having the home opener here? Like, what is the special part for you?
The fans. I mean, the way they get into it, I think that's the most important thing. Anytime you get, to come home and have a home opener, it's special. And I think they're, especially for ballparks that are downtown, there's a different energy to ballparks downtown, and I think we all know this is the best ballpark in baseball. And when you get a home opener, the energy downtown is something that's palpable, man. It lights up everything.
Eric, you already mentioned Aaron Judge, but what do you make of the Yankees offense as a whole to start the season? 22 homers over the first 6.
Yeah, I mean, they're really talented. I mean, obviously the defending American League champions. They've added to that lineup. They've had guys that have had another year of experience, and then, like you said, you add Aaron in the middle of it. That kind of anchors the whole thing. You have to be able to execute to them, or they can score runs really quickly, which we've seen in the short term.
Hayes has hit leadoff a bit in the past. Just what do you like about him there now, and how would you assess the leadoff spot a handful of games in, just having shuffling some faces in there?
Well, it's obviously still a work in progress. I know Frage hit there the other day and had 2 hits and a big hit for us late. Key Brian, over the course of his career, has really hit left-handed pitching. And he's had consistent at-bats off Fried. So doing that, I mean, he threw 3 good at-bats the other day in Tampa. I mean, only 1 was for a hit, but 2 other lineouts. And right now, I mean, we're kind of mixing and matching, trying to find that groove to get ourselves going.
IKF has really swung a nice bat to begin the season. Just kind of what type of value has he brought to the bottom of the order?
Tremendous. I think he's kind of stabilized it, and it's allowed us to roll over in a good spot. I think IKF's played really well on both sides of the ball in the early going, but he's had really consistent at-bats and has handled the bat well when we've asked him to do things situationally.
Shelton, coming into spring training, the look was, maybe Caleb Ferguson could be a starting pitcher. Now he's pitched, the 7th, the 8th for you right now. Like, what is it about him that he could be just so versatile and how you could potentially deploy him?
Well, I think there's 2 things. Number one, his ability to get right-handed hitters out also. It's not just a strict left on left. That's the thing. His willingness to take the ball, because we've used our relievers a pretty good deal in the early going. And then secondly, his ability to pitch anywhere from the 5th through the 9th, I think, is something that's very valuable for us and something that he's done. We wanted to give him the opportunity to get him stretched out, which I think can help us, you know, in the short term with the fact that he can go 1+ at times if we need him.
Good.